So we are back, Deeply Opinionated podcast. I like this setup, man. It looks like studio finish.
Yeah, it's giving me an upgraded vibe.
Yeah.
2020.
Welcome to Bear Studios. It's still in construction.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm putting a studio in my crib. It's a process. I didn't know it was this hard, but we're going to figure it out. Mm-hmm.
It can be done.
So how was your New Year?
It was great. My New Year was good. I got a chance to hang with some family. Got a chance to make some connections and brought my New Year in happy and excited. So, what about you?
My New Year's was quite boring, but I loved that it was boring. I didn't do anything. I didn't go out. I was in the crib. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, safe.
Yeah, because lately I just been staying out the way.
Right. I feel you on that.
There's too much going on, and what is going on is not as exciting as it was. So I just been staying out the way, but
Right.
I am looking forward to 2020.
Absolutely, me
Yeah.
too. It's an exciting year.
Yeah, a lot. I feel like I want to accomplish, and it's going to be accomplished. Especially with this podcast, we're going to start doing some shit.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So the first topic of 2020 is unrealistic expectations.
Okay.
Now, this is a subject that's been on my heart for a while, because I just feel like when you step back and watch society maneuver and try to find what they're looking for, you just see a lot of people with, the fantasy of, what we see love is. And I just really want to get people to just question, the things that you expect from someone. Is it really a realistic expectation? So I asked the question on Instagram, and I said, when you have a mate, what are expectations you have of any mate? So when you're seeking a mate, what are the expectations these expectations is what I expect from any mate. It don't matter who you are, this is what I expect. So a lot of people were saying, he has to have money.
Okay.
There was a lot of height requirements. There was a lot of, there was a few women who were saying the things like they need to be thoughtful, caring, loving, but those were the lesser though. More were really focused around money,
money.
Yeah. And it just got me to thinking about with there's an idea of the ideal mate that we have, but in the real world that we live in, realistically, does this person exist? And if this person does exist, why the fuck aren't they trying to holler at you?
Well, I think sometimes we are looking for the wrong things, or we have set expectations for things that really truly don't matter in the grand scheme of things, and that's why we kind of miss our blessings or our potential mates, because we focus on if he's 6'1" or not. A lot of times what you think is for you is totally opposite. And my mom, women that I know that are older, we have this ideal look, light skin, tall, whatever the case, dark skin, bald head, or muscular, and your husband may be fat, or your husband may be super skinny. And because at the end of the day, it's about the connection. And I think once people realize that we're all going to be old one day, we're not going to look how we look now. So substance needs to matter. Are you truthful? Do you hold me down when I need someone to, can I depend on you to steer me in the right direction when I need advice? Do you make me laugh? Those things become more important than and granted, money still matters, because, you still got to pay bills. But at the end of the day, I think that if you can't come to somebody stable, then I don't think you should require stability. Because there's no way that what you're asking for that you can return. So you need to just kind of meet someone where you can meet them 50-50. I think that it doesn't have to be a situation where you pay all the bills, but should you need to for that month or whatever the case may be, or however long it may need to be able to hold that down. If your boyfriend or husband or whatever is paying all of the bills and you are then working, if you are not working and there's no income coming from you, then obviously then I'm not speaking to you. So just to clarify. But if you are working and he's like, your money's your money, I got it, then, you know, put something to the side for a rainy day, because, you know, you want to be able to hold him down. It's just like he's holding you down. You want to be able to get something back. So I think that the focus should be on substance more as we age, and less on height and
penis size.
Okay, and swag, because that can be taught.
Yeah.
You can teach a guy how to dress. If you see a nice looking man and he is everything, but he is corny in the dressing department, sis, like, work it out. That's easy. That's an easy fix. You know what I'm saying? So let's think about these things when we're seeing these guys, because a lot, the pickings are very slim, so it's not.
And that's another thing I was talking about. I know me and my homegirl had a conversation yesterday. I ain't gonna say her name. I should say her name, but
don't do her like that.
She had an example of where she's talking to this guy, and you know, he's one day away from payday, and he asks to borrow $10. Now, they've been talking for a month and like 2 weeks. Good times, good dates, good chemistry, everything's going great.
Okay.
Now, she has mentioned earlier that she's been taken advantage of before. She got her own business, she's doing her own thing, she's making good money. So she's expressed to him that in previous situations, she's been taken advantage of. So the money thing, I'm not really with borrowing and lending money.
Okay.
Now, this is a separate conversation than when it happened. So that happened in just regular conversation, learning each other and talking about different situations from the past and stuff. So then this situation happens, and the whole situation blows up, and she decides that she needs to stop talking to him because he asked for $10.
Okay.
Now, I completely respect her perspective on that, right?
Okay.
Because, you know, she's been through some shit with people who, you know, tried to use her for money.
Right.
So I completely respect that. But I could tell from the way she was approaching it, because she was saying, okay, now you're asking me for $10. Next time it's going to be $50.
Okay.
Right? Next time it's going to be $100.
Yeah.
I don't want that type of person in my life who can't, you know, sustain their own.
Okay.
I get what she's saying, but that's unfair to that guy, because she's applying what has happened to her as if anybody who asks for money
is going to then need 20 and then 40 and then 60.
Right, and it's going to
and it's going to hit you every 2 weeks, or then, and then only want to see you for money. Right.
So I told her, like, that's the mistake you're making, is applying what has happened to you
in the past. That's the defense mechanism that's going to keep you stagnant.
Right. And then she was like, well, don't ask me. Ask your friends, ask your cousins, ask, you know, whatever. And I said, well, whether he asks you or them, he's still a nigga that needs $10.
Facts.
So if you're mad about a nigga needing $10 and he didn't ask you and asked his friend and got the $10, you would still be dating a nigga who needed $10. You just wouldn't know he needed $10.
Right.
So what's the
point?
What are you really, like, what's happening?
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
And she was like, well, it's just the fact that he asked me. And then they, you know, when she told him that made me feel uncomfortable, they got into it. He called her a gold digger and some other stuff. And so it got out of hand. But my whole thing was like, you know, it's okay to have whatever demands and expectations you have.
Yeah, it is, but
also know
right.
that you are making that pool smaller and smaller
by the things you do. And also, that conversation could have been, we weren't on the phone, so I don't know what her tone and her delivery was, because of course this is a defense situation for her, so she could have came into it defensive.
Right.
You know, and her tone could have been defensive and caused him to blow up, or he could have whatever. But my thing would be, if that situation occurs, instead of just marking them off the list like black line, explain, set a boundary. Listen, I'm not going to be able to give you any money, so you need to ask someone else,
Right.
you know, and let's not do that again. Now, if he crosses that barrier again, then you know what you have to do. But sometimes you have to let people know you're serious,
Yeah.
because if he's a person who, it's just $10, like, I was going to pay you back tomorrow,
Right.
they're never going to understand why you just didn't give them $10. It looked like you're the petty person.
Right.
When you were really trying to set a boundary, but you couldn't clarify that.
Right.
So it's like, you know, just clarify.
She felt she was justified because she has already expressed about her past.
Right.
And
But
what I'm saying is,
people don't think about those things when
Right.
they need something.
Right.
So you have to then clarify that in the moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus
That's why I said you needed to clarify that again. Like,
exactly.
look, this ain't something we could do.
Exactly.
I'll do anything for you, but
not
this,
that,
this
right?
is not
I can't.
borrowing money,
And
not
and
right.
if you don't remember why, you remember our conversation, blah blah blah. Yeah,
Right.
because you need to bring that to folks, because people ain't think about that.
Right.
It could have been something you said in jest, and he was just like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a learning lesson, and hopefully she can apply it, because it's gonna happen again, I believe, until she figures out a way to deal with the reaction.
Right. And I think the money thing is just so big in relation. It's the number one reason why people get divorced.
Absolutely.
So I think it's so big just because just the love of money.
Yeah.
And I like
people
in the
have
last
money habits too. The money habits that people have aren't the greatest, and people don't talk about that, because if you recall, whenever you bring up money, somebody get offended. Oh, it's too early to talk about money, or well, when is the time? Because I need to know how you handle money. You know.
And it's like it's the love of money. Like, I've been challenging myself like the last 4 months. It's like, you know, it used to be always about the bag. I need the bag. I'm gonna go get the bag, right? And it's like, but do I really want to go get, like, does my spirit want to go get, does my spirit want to go get this bag?
Yeah.
Or am I just like, gotta get the bread, gotta get the money. And it's like, which one is it? Because I don't need that bag. I'm gonna go get it because it's there, but I don't need it.
Right.
So what am I doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? To like, I'm challenging myself to look at money as a commodity and not something that I need to be happy.
Okay, I can understand that.
And then me, like, going back to the conversation I had with her, she was saying that money dictates her emotions. And I said, you have to listen to what you're saying. Listen to yourself and what you're saying. When you don't have money, you feel bad. That's not normal. That's not normal. It's like that because of
the emphasis you put on money.
The emphasis you put on money. But you need money to survive. You don't need money to be happy. And I think a lot of people equate happiness with money.
How much they have in the bank.
But you don't understand that. Biggie wasn't lying when he said more money, more problems.
Right.
That's real.
And also, you know, realizing, like you said, that happiness outside of money, that happiness is going to bring you money.
Right.
So if you're doing what you like to do, as they always say, you're going to get money. But if you're chasing the bag, you're forever chasing it. And it's never, you know, what you want it to be.
And we never get to, and that's why people get older and be like, damn, where'd the time go? The reason the time passed because he was always on the run. You never sat still and enjoyed
what you created.
Right, you wanted the house, but you never enjoyed the nice ass apartment you had.
Right,
because
then you didn't enjoy the house when you got it.
Right, so then you got the house, but I need a 5-bedroom house, right? And it's just like
and the car and
the car. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like we're never satisfied. So because we're always chasing the next biggest thing, even in relationships, like, you know, people are not taking time to themselves no more after relationships.
Yeah.
People are starting to, you know, you just went through a breakup and people is already not over that situation, already giving this energy to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, because you need, like, as a void to fill, because we're always looking, okay, what's next? What's the next thing? What's the next best thing? And I feel like we have that with money, and that love is so big that it plays a huge part in relationships. Money is so taboo. Nobody really wants to talk about it because that man or that woman don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm broke. And you gonna look at me differently now because you know I only got $30 in my account. So the insecurity behind that doesn't allow two people to communicate about money honestly, because nobody wants to look broke or nobody wants to seem broke.
For the judgment, fear of the judgment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And just like she was saying, I don't like asking people for money. Why don't if I can go on a date with you and I can spend $60 on you, and you can spend $60 on me, what's the difference? You give me $10.
There's no difference.
Oh, because there was food involved.
Oh, that's okay.
That's okay.
It makes it just an exchange of goods, services.
And it's just,
but but I do understand people, like you said they were dating or talking about a month and a half, so I get that that's kind of early. But people will ask you if they feel like you are a person that will potentially do it, because they can see, people can see the good in you, or that you might be a giving person. But sometimes you have to, even when you don't want to give, you have to just go ahead and do it, and just to go ahead and give people an opportunity to present themselves for who they said they were going to. At the end of the day, if she would have gave him $10, it's $10. She ain't really lost nothing, and somebody got to eat lunch.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what I told her. I said, I give a bum standing at the light $10. What are we really talking about?
Yeah, it ain't a lot of money, but it was the trigger. It was the trigger that it was money in general. It could have been $1. I'm sure she would have reacted the same. And it really isn't about the amount, but I think we have to really, when we get triggered by things, we have to really assess what it is so that we can transmute it. Like, how do you get past it? Because you don't want to be the miserable, beautiful woman that has a business and is wealthy but has no relationships, because everybody around her couldn't get to where she is, and she couldn't even help them because it was money, and it turned her off, So.
And that's just it's a lot of things, like even with the the pay my bills thing, right? That's a touchy situation with a lot of people. That gets people riled up on who should pay the bills and all of this stuff, and like it irks me because I feel like this is just something that was snatched out of thin air. Like, the man is supposed to pay the bills. This is really just some shit. Like, I really think, this is what I really think. I really think that I wish some women would just say, you know what, I'm tired of struggling, and I need some help.
Okay.
Because I really feel like, as an adult, any adult, you should be able to pay your own bills.
Okay.
Why does that stop
when a
man comes in?
Well, some people have grown up seeing that, like the father takes care of the household, and so they just assume that's how life is supposed to be.
Right.
Some women date and are taken care of so well that they aren't having to provide, and then they get comfortable in that, and so that's what they prefer.
Right.
But there are a lot of relationships that people are really splitting bills down the middle. I don't think people realize that, because people who doing it, they're not talking about it.
Right.
Like, I know a lot of married couples that are splitting bills down the middle, or somebody's, he may pay the mortgage, but she paying all the insurances, and or she's paying all the groceries and the utilities and the car payments. Like, all that stuff add up to just as much as the mortgage when you think about it. So it's like people are doing what's best for them and works in their households, and a lot of men aren't getting money the way the money was given in situations.
We're the first generation to make less than our parents.
Yeah. And
think about that.
It seems like it isn't, though, because the money, the cost of living is so much higher.
Right.
But there's so many more expenses I think we're paying for now. They kind of even out that soil. But like the money isn't coming like that. I mean, people are having to do more than one thing, so then that's limiting the time spent.
Right.
So it's like, you make the bag and then you give up the family time. Or, you have the family time, but then y'all just making ends meet. So it's like, you gotta kind of weigh the cost and do what works for you, and really worry about the look when you're able to worry about the look, because that will come, but everybody got to get there first. And I think that's a lot of pressure on the man, like, to feel like he has to provide, which then puts forth the whole, do I want to get married to this person right now? Because I have more to think about, and I have all these bills to pay for. How I'm going to save up for your ring? So I think it's like, just communicate that. And if that's what you want as a woman, I'm not going to say you don't deserve it, because you deserve what you want. Find the man that can give it to you. Don't force anybody to try to do that. And as men, stop pretending you can. If you know that's not going to happen, stop trying to get some buns anyway, and just let it go. Because y'all be lying sometimes.
Hey.
to get some buns.
You ain't gonna get no debate out of me. Obviously, listen.
Because I don't want to go off on my women, you know. I just want to just make sure, you know. Y'all know. I'm watching y'all fellas, and y'all be friend.
They be doing, yeah. It's a whole lot of cap. It's a whole lot of cap going on. Super cap. I be saying all the time, I said, one day I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the real story about this entertainment business and what's going on around it.
Yeah,
one day, I'm going to just be like, you know what, here it is.
It's definitely false.
But, yeah, man, I just feel like the you know, the glitz and glamour, like as far as like the money, right? We see like the celebrities and we see, you know, the artists and the singers and, you know, we see all of them with all of this money. But when you look at statistics, take everybody that's rich, everybody in America that's rich, right, and put them over there. They only make up for 1% of the population.
And they not even have the people that's in front of us that we think get money ain't get money like that whole time.
But if you take all of the rich people in America and put them over here, they only make up for 1%. That means the rest, the other 99% of the population is either living middle class or in poverty.
Yeah.
So the likelihood, I know you think these, you know, because you can follow the celebrity and you can comment on their picture, you think they're accessible and these type of people are accessible. You can find these rich people and, you know, they're in the club. No, these niggas' jury is fake. These niggas threw 500 ones. It looked like 20,000, but if you take $501 bills, it looks like a lot of money, but it's not. These niggas' jury is fake. These niggas renting cars, like they niggas is put on a real live show for just whatever comes with that. So if you thinking you just gonna snatch up the rich nigga who is caring and pays all your bills and he does everything you want to do, and he's romantic, and he's good in the bed, and he got good head, and he educated, and he ain't got no kids, when you're looking for that, I'm not saying you can't find it.
And the older you get, the kids thing starts to get very small.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be realistic. And I tell, like, I know homegirls, got a couple homegirls that's got lists, and I got a couple homegirls that got these crazy, extravagant lists, and I'm like, sis, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like,
super.
No one's going to meet everything on your list,
no.
And you're only going to make yourself angry by trying to find someone with everything on your list. So just highlight the things that are very important: morals, trustworthiness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Can hold down a job, can keep some income coming in.
Right.
Okay, has some daggone wherewithal, like can stand the rain. Okay, like, you know, the things that matter, because if you got a dude that's gonna go get it, and you know you gonna go get it, y'all gonna go get it together. Like,
right.
Something's gonna kick off. Like, and I think that needs to be important to people. But
I think if you got a list, throw that motherfucker away. Throw it away. Just
I'd say it too, but I ain't even gonna set that up because ain't nobody gonna do that.
If you got a list,
you should.
Your list should not be that long to where you can't memorize it.
That's true too, right? You should have a couple of things, hit or miss,
yes.
You know?
If you got more than 10 things on your list, you should know about it.
Date more than once. Go out on dates with several people, because that way you're keeping your mind fresh. You're getting to know different people, and then you're like seeing what you like and you don't like, and then you don't feel the need to hold on to something when you get these red flags, because you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go see Chris, or I'm gonna just go over here and see Jacob, or whatever their names, Javon. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then that way you can kind of cut your losses, and you haven't given up nothing but time. Okay, that's all I'm asking you ladies to give up is time. Anything else you give up is on your own accord.
Right.
But I would suggest just start with time, because you can keep your brain in the decision making process.
Right. It's just it's so much, man. I feel like that's why, you know, what we feel love is, it seems so hard to find, but nobody's sitting and thinking like, damn, why is this shit so hard to find? Are we really looking for what love really is?
Right.
Or are we looking for the shit we saw in movies and in TV shows?
I'm starting to believe, I don't think we all really know what love is enough to apply it. And I think now a lot of people are just desperately getting into situations just to say they got somebody.
Right.
Like, it's like, oh my God, I'm about to be single for the rest of my life. Okay, you work.
Right.
You know, and I don't think people are really, really putting forth the effort that it takes to be in a healthy relationship, because we aren't focusing on ourselves to know what we really like and dislike and the things that we want and the next steps that we want to take. I don't think people are really focusing on those things. It's like, if you aren't whole, if you don't love you, how do you love somebody else? How do you give that consistent, unconditional love to somebody if you can't do that within?
Right. You know, it's funny that you said unconditional love. I put that on my story the other day. It was talking about, I pulled up the definition for unconditional, and it says with no conditions.
Good.
So, my question was, is unconditional love possible? My theory is unconditional love can only be given to your child.
So you think in a relationship there's a condition to the love?
It has to be. Can I cheat on you and you can still love me?
Yeah, I don't think the love will go away. Would I be angry, disappointed? Yeah.
It would eventually go away though.
No.
So listen. So
if me and you broke up and decided to break and then see other people, then obviously I would still have love for you. It just wouldn't be in the magnitude that it was in.
But
it didn't stop.
It's
just not. I'm not in love with you anymore. I just love you for the person you are now.
So then that's two different loves.
It is.
So did you?
But what kind of like?
And love changed because of the condition.
But love change. Yes, love changed because but it
saying.
Doesn't make it not unconditional. Right?
No, because it changed.
But see what? Okay, so then the aspect of love is still there, but the condition is the thing that changed.
Condition makes it change.
Yes. Okay.
So if there is a condition that will make your love change, then there's no.
But that would be. I mean, that doesn't mean that will be in every relationship. You have people that are in relationships that have been cheated on that still love each other and work through it. And
true.
You know,
true.
what
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I'm saying like.
But I guess the kids would be the best example.
I think every person can do something bad enough for you to stop messing with them.
Grandparents, maybe.
No, I'm talking about like as far as relationships.
Oh.
Your boyfriend or your girlfriend, I think, will always have the ability to do something that will make you stop fucking with them. But I've seen people, they know that their child murdered people, and they still stand by their child's side and support them. And try to, get them.
I mean, that happens in love too. You seen Aaron Hernandez and his fiance, like she was mad and stuff, but she still stood by him.
But by that, I can't speak to what she felt.
Okay.
I know that in that situation, there's still the variable of this nigga might not get convicted. He might come back home, and he might still be the breadwinner. That's a variable that's there. I'm not saying that's why she was there, but that's a variable that's still in that situation. They could find him not guilty. You see how it was with OJ? There was way less
but do you
evidence.
think? Okay, so just to ask a question. You think in a relationship, like when you get in a relationship, you don't clarify what type of love you have for each other. You just, when you tell the person you're with, "I love you," that love is there, right? So, do you feel like it's only a condition because it's a sexual love, or a love because we are partners, and when you make me mad, I may love you less? Like, do you think people love the other person less when they're upset with them? Like, right now, it can't be a difference. Like, right now I'm upset with you, I don't want to see you, but I still love you.
Mm-hmm.
Or you broke my heart, but I still love you. Because people still, you be looking at the dumb person. Like, why are you doing that? And it's like, well, I love this person or whatever. And it's like, well, why are you making these decisions? So there are people that still love you through the chaos.
Right,
but I feel like,
is that love though?
Then I was gonna say, I feel like that may be trauma issues, because it's like you don't realize your own self abandonment issues.
Yeah.
Then it becomes something else. So I guess we really need to focus on, and you know what? I have this book that I'm gonna start reading. It's called Ready to Love by Bell Hooks.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you should read it too. And it talks about what love means and what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if we look at love as love is someone who allows you to grow mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and imparts things in you for you to take the next step, then if we look at that as love, then we can determine who really loves us, right?
Yeah.
And stop looking at somebody financially keeping us as love, because that's just support, financial support. Somebody who's feeding us, that's not love. That's just, you know what I'm saying, giving you nourishment. You know, separating these things, because sometimes we grow up and we think that we're getting love because our dad took care of the household and was at work all day, but that wasn't love. That was comfort. You know, that wasn't even comfort. That was maintaining the household. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't love. And now when they get married or when they get in a relationship, they work, and they support, and they're wondering why their mate isn't fulfilled because you're not doing anything but passing money. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing they know as love. So we have to really define what that love is so that we can actually give what that person needs. And it's more than just materialistic things. It's helping me be my greatest self. That's how you show me your love. And that's what I learned from that book. So
it's I agree with what you're saying, because, you know, when two people meet, you know, that person grew up a certain way, that person grew up a certain way. So this person's idea of love and what your idea of love is, you know, can be completely different.
Absolutely.
While you guys are telling each other, I love you.
Exactly.
And so, because this is all you know of what love is, and this is all they know, they're expecting you
to give what they know, without telling you. Because,
oh, you said you love me.
Right.
So your definition got to be my definition. So do what I want you to do.
Right.
So, and that is lack of communication. A lot of people can't even express what they think love is.
Exactly.
They say it and it's just like,
because it's, I took care of your bills, or I bought you those outfits, or, you know, I go out on dates with you every Friday. You know, that's not
I
what
gave
it
you some
is.
money on the gas bill.
Yeah.
That was love. That was help. That's all it was.
Supported me when I needed you.
That's it.
Yeah, straight up.
And you say that as if that's like something that you wasn't supposed to do. If we together, you're supposed to help.
You're supposed to help out when I need you. Do you pray with me? You know what I'm saying? Do you tell me I'm wrong when I'm wrong? Like, you know, do you help me figure out when I'm upset about my job? Do you help me find another one? You know what I'm saying? Do you make sure that I'm okay? Because those things matter. And I think that is the hardest thing in relationships, for people to really focus on those core needs. You know, like, do we support each other at the core? You know,
so. I just wish it was way more talk about, like, finding someone who's thoughtful and caring and
that's important.
Those
romantic
things,
without sex.
You
know, like intimacy. Yes, that's it.
To someone who can communicate.
Absolutely.
Actually express how you feel in effective communication.
Yes.
Not talking at someone.
Not putting fingers in their face.
Not putting fingers in their face. Not yelling for no fucking reason. Just how to communicate. Babe, let's sit down and talk. Have a conversation. No, turn the TV off. Let's just talk. That's what a lot of people don't have. They don't know how to communicate. They expect for you to understand me just because I said what I said, and just understand me.
And nobody does check-ins either to see how people doing mentally with the situation. I mean, like, sometimes, like you said, the TV got to go off and you got to have a conversation to see where you at, because, like, it's imperative, because we all go through our different days and it affects us differently. So, you know, and then, like, that's how you become friends with your mate. You got a lot of people in relationships don't even like each other. And I don't really understand that, because it's a choice to continue to be in a relationship with somebody. So for you to choose to be miserable every day, it's just baffling to me. But
a lot of people feel like they don't deserve better, so they'll stay in that situation.
Or they won't find anything better than that. So it's like a psych out, but it's still sad. It's truly sad, because you miss an opportunity to be your happiest. You know what I'm saying? By dealing with by being scared to deal with the unknown. But it's like, it's just sad. I want to hug you all.
It is. It's a lot of people who don't even love themselves. Like you said earlier, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect someone to love you? Because that person can see that you don't love yourself. And that's telling, you know. How can you are you. How can I ever believe that you'll love me and you don't love yourself?
You're not even happy with you. You can't. And I mean, you know, the pray, you know, They prey on the weak. These men know, and these women know too.
Right.
Just what men to get when they want to come by. Right. It's not even a men over women thing. It's men and women. It's both. Because, you know, if you are out here to kill, you're going to find prey. Right. Trust. And it's just like, so just, you know, pick up and just pay attention. Always pay attention to the red flags.
Right. And like people say, it's like, see, and this is what women gotta understand. Like, you know, I've noticed that, you know, women like to hear it, right? Even if they don't see it, hearing it does something for them. So that's why a lot of guys who say all of the right things, they get to that point where they can use these women, because a woman can hear it and
right,
you know, and immediately feel the awe. So guys who are snakes can.
But it's like, after how many awes in this situation, you know? Like, I feel like fool me once, fool me twice. You know, like, fool me 3 times now. You know, like, if you find yourself going through the same situations, then you can't keep pointing the finger outward. You have to then focus on how you're being bamboozled over and over again, because that's important too. Like, you don't want to keep going through this, do you? You know what I'm saying? So let's figure out why, and let's take a step back, because a lot of people, I'm not even going to say some, a lot of people in relationships don't need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, really don't. And you got all these expectations and you set none for yourself. You are a victim when it comes to what you need to be doing inward. You never see it. You know, it's like, how do you give it? Like, it all goes back to being able to give what you desire. And if no one can ever call you on the bull that you present, then how do you get into a relationship? How do you make it last? You know what I'm saying? I mean, because no relationship is easy 100% of the time. There's going to be times when you disagree. But like you always say, it's about how you handle it. Right. Can you talk through it? Or if you're mad, can you take that moment, come back and talk through it? Because respect is always important. Like, if you can't respect your mate and you blow off and the names get to calling and all of that and hands get being put, then we too old for that. I'm too old for Charmaine.
Well, I'm too old to be raising my voice
your voice too deep, too aroused.
Until the kids get here,
yes, the kids.
I don't need to be raising my voice.
I can see 3 of them. 3 little running around.
2 is it.
3.
I'm doing 2.
I need 3 for you.
I need 2.
I can come get my auntie fix.
The 3rd would be an accident.
Right. I'm with that too.
A slip up.
I'm cool.
Not an accident, a slip up.
Yay. I'm gonna be an auntie, you guys. Ain't that how we do?
Put the brakes on. Put a little brake on.
I'm just not right now, guys. Not the next 9, but you know.
Not in the next 9. But yeah, man. It's, and then I also wanted to bring up, like, I just want women to go to Google and Google the average salary of a black man. I want you to just, once you see that number, I just want you to just take it in, look at your bills, and look at the bills you got, and just think about what the average salary of a black man. I need you to Google it. I would tell you, but I want you to do the homework yourself. Google it and see what the average salary of a black man is in America. Then you tell me who bills he paying.
I'm about to look right now for myself. Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
better pay your own bills, sis. You better pay your own. We can go on this good date, and that's limited. Okay, the whole time. You paying the next one.
Listen, that's what I told my homegirl. She was like, she kept saying, we gotta be, me and the person gotta be equally yoked. And I was like, saying you gotta find somebody that's equally yoked.
It's not talking about money.
Takes away that too. But if you did want to compare it to money, equally yoked, you're taking away from how rare you are.
Right.
So if I'm trying to find somebody who's equally yoked with me and doing all these things, entrepreneurs and doing all this stuff, I'm taking away how rare I am.
Right.
If I know that I'm rare,
you're going to have to step down a little bit and meet somebody halfway. Right. A little more than halfway.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You got to look past there's a lot of overlooking you have to do, ladies.
Right. And it's not even the fact that you're overlooking it. You just have to
put more things into focus.
Yeah,
like things that matter.
What's really important.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have your, how people make, what's those dream boards? Which boards?
Vision boards.
Vision boards.
Yes.
Right? You have a vision for these things, but you know some of these things on here is going to be longer to get to than this one.
Exactly.
So some things you have to put in priority. What is really more important? Like, you know, do you need someone to pay all your bills, or is that just a luxury that you want?
Yeah, like, I would love that. We all would love it. Shoot, I would love
everybody would. I wouldn't mind a sugar mama paying my damn bills.
Somebody throw you a couple grand every month. Take it.
What?
And live my best life. Okay.
Right. Everybody wants that. Men and women want that shit.
Facts.
If somebody could pay all of our bills, we would want it. Nobody wants.
I'm still trying to manifest it. When I get that part of the guys, I'll let y'all know how I did it. Okay.
Nobody
because
wants
I'm trying
bills.
to manifest money that's not coming from a job. Okay,
Right.
Gifts. Big gifts. I need that G-Wagon. Okay.
Right. I just need women to understand what situation you're in out here.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, that right there.
Yeah.
When I was single, if I knew that, I would have definitely moved differently. I'm sorry to all the lies that I definitely shaded.
Yes, because
I thought you was being broke.
I want all y'all to go Google the average salary of a black man, and I want you to tell me who bills he paying.
Barely.
I'm telling you. That's why you gotta get it out here.
Listen, that's why 2 jobs is necessary. Okay? 3 low key. And then it's like, well, when do you have the time? You don't. That's why you need to focus on communication. Y'all need to be talking on the phone for a couple months.
Right.
For 30, 45 days before y'all even meet each other to see how y'all can communicate. Can you hold a conversation?
Right.
That's what's gonna keep you. For real, like you always say, communication is important. Me and my boyfriend, we spoke on the phone before we really, we FaceTime, of course, because technology, but we spoke on the phone a lot.
Right.
So we got a chance to really communicate.
Mm.
And I think that's important because a lot of times you just go on a date, you get to hear them talk a little bit, but then you get them in a setting and they can't even.
Right.
You missed that because you didn't have conversation over the phone.
Right. And ladies, I know y'all can't wait to be chosen. But take your time. Y'all get a new friend. Y'all get a new friend, and now you make a status as you in love. And 2 months later, fuck this nigga.
Right.
That's because you're not taking time to get to know somebody.
Don't worry about social media.
The first person that make you feel good, you want to
post the pinky.
Let the world know that somebody's actually interested in you.
Right.
Okay, we get it.
Listen, there's always going to be someone interested in beautiful women, melanated women, and others.
If you're aesthetically beautiful,
they're going to like you.
There's somebody for everybody.
This is what you do. Focus on vibrating high so that when they do come get you, it's the right ones. Because this desperate thing that they throwing out, this desperate energy, it's going to have desperate men coming to find you or what you call them, wolves.
Yeah, and listen, I would never tell my daughter, go find you a rich nigga to pay your bills, because first of all, you can't really trust everybody. Second of all, it's broke niggas out here cheating, so rich niggas
whole time. You're not gonna
got a whole different other access.
Right, yeah.
Then after that, you don't want to be in a situation where your whole dependence is on a man. I would never teach my daughter that. Do not depend on no nigga. And if he's breaking you off, he giving you 10 grand here, 20 grand there. Start you a goddamn business.
Yeah. Save it until you figure out what you want to do, and then do something with it. That's right. Don't just go splurge on fashions because
fuck a purse just to buy it and put it on Instagram so everybody
pay your money, buy it with your own money if you want to do that.
Right.
Put his money up and make sure that joint click. Okay.
Yeah, have your shit together. Don't be leaning on no man to where if he pull that rug from under you assed out. You ain't got nowhere to stay. The car is his. Your clothes that he bought for you is his. Like, you gotta put yourself in position to where you can hold your own, because you just don't know. You just don't know. So women who are looking for men who just pay all your bills, that comes with a certain type of man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. That comes with a certain type of man. Now there are men out there who will pay all your bills and will be the best man. And I'm not saying anybody's perfect or everything will be perfect, but it'll be a good situation. But I just know a lot of rich people.
There are good men out here too.
I know a lot of rich men. And I just know how those situations go. And there's some girls out there who can tell you they stick around. They are horrible. You can see it through their Instagram pics. They are miserable. Mm-hmm. But the bag is keeping them where they want to stay. Mm-hmm. because the bag is, well, at least I'm getting the bag.
Right.
I ain't happy, but.
And some women just like the lifestyle too. They love that lifestyle. They're not going to give it up.
They're not happy.
And, you know, you got to give and get a little bit. You know, you give, you get what you get. So if that's what you want and that's how you feel like you're going to get it, then by all means stay in it. You know what I'm saying? But just know still a choice.
Right.
All of it's still a choice. But, you know, the thing is, these monetary situations distract you from the real important thing, which is happiness.
Right.
And, you know, you out here with this list of expectations for these men, and you're putting yourself in a miserable situation just to have the ability to be in a different island every week. Right. Or, you know, or have these bills paid, and then, you know, your bed is cold.
Right.
You know, so it's just like...
Or you're sharing a bed.
Well, that too. Yeah, that too. And, you know, are we, you know, is that really what you want? So just weigh those costs to see if that's really what you desire. Right. Because money is still the root of all evil. It is still, you know, going to be used to test you. And if you're going to fold because of money and do the unspeakable because of money, then hey.
It's like we pick and choose what scriptures out of that book that we want to apply. Because, you know, just like you said, money is the root of all evil.
It's still, yeah.
We skip that. Then we also skip where it says it's harder for a rich man to get through the eye of a needle than it is for him to get into heaven. So I posted that scripture and I was like, well, shout out to all the Christians who's trying to get rich. Because the scripture says it's harder for a rich man to get into, to fit. It's easier for a rich man to fit through the eye of a needle. You know, the eye of a needle, like what you put the thread through? Yeah. It's easier for him to fit through that than it is for him to enter into the gates of heaven. That's a scripture in the Bible.
Oh, wow. I never knew that. Can you send me the scripture?
I will.
Thank you. Please do.
But yeah.
The thing about, you know, you gotta,
it's just.
It's different. I mean, but you know, I guess, anyway. So. But yeah, I mean, you know, like money doesn't have to be evil, but money is definitely brings about evil things because people who have money can control the narrative a little more. And so that, you know, that's what I mean when I say it, like they can control narrative so that therefore it's by their rules. Right. And so whatever they want to do with it, so if you're going to play that game, then just know that game may get dirty, you know, because you're playing by somebody else's rules.
Right. Because of how we value money, you feel they have the upper hand because they have the money. Yeah. So it's just
you put yourself at a disadvantage sometimes when you let that be your primary focus, of course. But you know, you live, you learn. It's a learning lesson.
Yeah. I just, you know, I wish, you know, we come down to reality and just get out of this fantasy world because clearly it's not working. We have years and years of evidence of the fantasy. It's not working, people. And because the dynamic of socialism amongst the people is growing so much that it's like, it's not the same. Like when your grandparents left the house for the day and came back, they probably saw 12 people. I can sit right here in this chair and open my phone and have access to 20,000 people just in my hand. Yeah. It's not the same. It's not the same. And we have to sit down and take a real look at what's going on instead of just, oh, niggas ain't shit, females ain't shit.
Right, and yeah, and me and Baby was talking about that because you know, from that thread about, you know, traumas from women and men, you know, a lot of times when we throw out these negative terms like whore and slut and dog and all of that, we say it as though we're coming to each individual as they are whole and healthy, right? Not the things that they've been through in their life that caused them to maybe choose these things that they would have not normally chosen had they not been molested from the age of 4. Right. You know, you wonder why they're super sexual. I mean, how else would they be? Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of times, well, we don't discuss it, you know, because it is taboo or it is very personal, and in the black community we don't always talk about traumas to heal them. We talk about them to shame you. So these things aren't said, and then people are making assumptions based on the life that they were brought up in. Right. So if my family was 2-parent household, you know, I grew up with love all around me, I can never grasp how you grew up in turmoil, right? But and so then it's easier for me to judge you than it is for me to empathize.
Right.
So it's like I really, really want us to figure out how to talk more about these things that are going on, or how to just step back and stop coming from a place of judgment from jump, because you don't know what somebody been through.
Right.
And it's so imperative for us to really keep that in the forefront of our minds, because as we progress in this world, it's going to be crazier things that are happening to the younger youth that we're going to have to remember, so that when they are doing these jaded things 10 years down the line, we remember why.
Right. It's real, man. It's a lot of people, like you said, do not talk about their trauma, do not talk about, and they hold those things in, and you get in the vibe, and you don't even know why you get in the vibe, because you done triggered something, or you done said something to bring them back to that feeling. And,
exactly.
And you know, from there it just spirals out of control, because people they don't know how to deal with the trauma. They don't know what to do to
transmute that.
And what you do is, when you bottle it up, you know, it's eventually going to come out, and whoever that person is to come out on, come out on.
It don't even matter, right, exactly, and they don't even realize, right. DM me. If this is you, DM me. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's a lot, you know, we go through a lot as adults, you know what I'm saying? We go through a lot. We just got to figure out how to, you know, work with that. To where it's a healthy situation that comes out of it, because being unhealthy and walking around here hating and jealousy and all of this envy is not going to put you where you need to be. You're going to still be in the same place 10 years later, and you're going to wonder why everybody moving around you and you ain't done nothing. You know, it's just sad. And the expectations that you have, these false expectations, are going to have you stagnant as well. You know, you're going to wonder why your relationships don't ever work out, and why every time he leave you a leaping pad for a whole relationship. Now he in a new one. And people get married on you. You don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? You are a leaping pad for people to see what they want and to go find it. And you don't want to. Nobody wants to be that. So be the pad they land on and stick. You feel what I'm saying? Ribbit. So, you know, just work it out. You know, men and women. I'm not just talking to the ladies.
Especially men and women. It's, you know, I'm tired. You know, I can speak for the men, but I can't speak for all men, but I speak for a lot of men. Like, one meme that really just be pissing me off is the dude taking the panties off, and it says, "This is the type of man that wants to go half." It's like a black man, and he's got his legs up, and he's taking women's lace panties off. They're like around his ankles. He's taking them off. And the meme says, "This is the kind of men who want to go half on the," and it's a black man.
Oh wow, like they like feminizing men, like that's some women like.
Because you want to go half, that's some female shit.
Right, that's a female trait.
So you wear panties, and women don't like the women who repost it. I know it's funny in memes and whatever.
Right, but that's still
that's like so.
That's
like a low blow for a black man to see. And a woman to post it, I think that's so like.
Well, did you see Love and Hip Hop when Erica Mena told Safari, "You're acting like a her"? I don't know if anybody noticed that last week, but I thought that was like to me, that's like a slap across the face. Like, how you telling me that basically you call him
a bitch?
A bitch, yeah.
But that's a New York thing, though.
Like, I can...
Because New York niggas say, when they refer to females, they say bitch a lot. They
right,
say,
but... And I hear women say, like, in an argument,
too, yeah.
But I just felt like she didn't even say that. She said, "You're acting like a her," so you knew exactly what you meant. I feel like calling somebody that, y'all arguing, you know, I hear it in the New York term, but it's just like, I don't know, maybe that's why everybody overlooked it, because it was like, okay, that's a New York term, like, whatever. But to me, that's like, like, how we get married and you calling me a her?
Yeah, I couldn't rock with that, but I do get it, because
so maybe I'll let it slide.
It's just common.
Yeah. I think I almost would have let it slide if she would have just said it like that, like straight out curse.
I don't play about that word.
I mean, I'm just saying, it might have translated better, because it's like.
I'm just saying, in that situation, she would have knew not to say that to me, because I don't. Not that I would do something to her, but I just make it known that I don't play about that word.
Right.
With niggas or females.
Right.
Like, once you call me that word, I put you in a certain category, then I look at you differently. You know, because if you can look at me and call me that, you don't respect me.
Right.
And I don't need to be with somebody who don't respect me.
Yeah.
And if you a nigga and you say, I'm going in your jaw, I don't play about that word. I don't play, that's the trigger for me. I don't play about that word.
You said you putting hands on.
I don't play, especially with no niggas. I can take it off a woman because there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just know you in that category. Just know you in that category. Get comfortable over there. That's where you're gonna be at. But a nigga, I don't got time for that shit. I don't play around with that. But yeah, that's just that's New York slang. Where,
okay. I'll let it slide.
Yeah. See, it's still disrespectful though.
That's what I feel like.
Don't get it twisted. It's still.
Yeah.
It's all about
as
in
a
the
Southern
manner
woman,
that
I
you
don't
say
think
it.
I would say it, but it's just like I felt like the she to me was more disrespectful than her just like out cursing.
Right. But yeah, man, y'all gotta get to the realistic. Not even really the realistic, but just the things that are most important because you can. Some of those things that are outrageous, you can find them in random people. So I'm not saying that they're, throw them out, but I'm saying that realize what's most important. And then if you get with that person and y'all are focused on those most important things, y'all can build together to where you don't have to worry about.
Right. You may have to give up the 6-1 for the romantic, or you may have to give up the romantic for the 6-1. Like it might be an exchange. But you can always teach the things that aren't there and hope that they're willing to learn it.
Right. It's just about communication. If y'all can talk to each other,
y'all can get through it.
Effectively, you can get through anything if you know how to communicate effectively.
Right. And they're a willing vessel.
Right. And stop waiting until it's too late to talk.
Right.
Talk when it's fresh.
Right.
Don't let it
when
build
it first
up.
bothers you. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let it build up and talk about it 3 days of the no. Talk about it then, right then. It was fresh.
Right.
But yeah, man. I think we covered a lot. What you think?
I think that's it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
I know y'all been on my ass. I'm sorry, but if it was up to me, we still wouldn't be shooting because this room ain't finished yet.
Yeah.
I'm still doing some more stuff in here, but yeah, because y'all can't even see, but on that wall is a big ass green screen that covered the whole damn wall. But we gonna get all that. We gonna get all that together. But 2020, we back. Look for us doing. We gonna hit the streets. Asking questions to the people on the streets, and we'll run those before the actual podcast show. We're gonna do live podcasts.
Okay.
To where we'll link with grandeur, cuisine, and
love to eat. He's such a great person. I like him.
That's my nigga. And yeah, so it's gonna be called Eat and Talk and Eat. So
give me a little bed.
He gonna provide the food. We're gonna have a live podcast to where people can come, participate, take questions, answer questions, debate, go back and forth, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
And it's gonna be filmed, and we'll upload it to the channel. Also, you need to go to the Facebook page of Deeply Opinionated Podcast. Because what we're also going to start doing is start going live on Facebook while we're also recording, so that people can participate during the recording, and we can have feedback and answer some questions and
connect.
Right. So a lot planned for 2020. So just stay tuned. This was the first episode of many. My lovely co-host, I missed you.
I missed you too.
We are back 2020. Deep Opinionated Podcast. We'll see you next time.